Because a lot of these swing theories that I see, yeah, they're great for someone who's 6'4", 220, super athletic and flexible, swings the club 120. Like, yeah, I mean, Dustin Johnson can do that, but you're not Dustin Johnson.
Guys, welcome to week 44 of my journey to scratch. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I was planning on doing a Q&A with Zach. It actually turned more into a conversation. We talked about the golf swing, we talked about getting fired. I even asked him whether or not he believes that I can get down to scratch. So it's a really, really good conversation. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. A couple things, I am actually gonna be in Europe for the next couple weeks, but don't worry, I have the next 2 videos edited and uploaded. So if you appreciate my dedication to this channel and to you and to our journey, it would mean the world if you press a like on this video. And with that said, let's just hop into the video and I hope you guys enjoy it. Take care. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I have Zach, who's my golf coach. We've been working together for about 7 months. My swing is seriously transformed if you guys have been following along the journey. And I mentioned in a couple videos ago that we were going to be doing kind of a Q&A. So we have a ton of questions for him, not necessarily just about the golf swing, but kind of about everything. Swing theory, what his background is, where he learned everything from, and that sort of stuff. It's going to be really, really interesting. I do want to get started with, I think, what was the biggest light bulb moment for me when I started working with you, which was swing theory and understanding that there's not just one way to swing the golf club.
Absolutely.
And my question is, can you tell us about the different types of swings, what swing you teach, and why you believe in it?
Basically, there's 2 different theories if you want to just divide it black and white. So you're going to have the draw teachers and you're going to have the fade teachers. You know, I think a lot of people, as you see in the modern instruction, is bow the wrist, turn the shoulder, really get into it. Now, you know, that's more of a fade swing. Because a lot of these swing theories that I see, yeah, they're great for someone who's 6'4", 220, super athletic and flexible, swings the club 120. Like, yeah, I mean, Dustin Johnson can do that, and there's no arguing that he can do that. But you're not Dustin Johnson, you know what I mean? I saw one of the comments on YouTube, they're like, well, I went and took a lesson from a Corn Ferry guy, and he was telling me to close my club face with my hips, and I'm just like, dude, you guys are at 2 different levels. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, most people, they come in and they don't know how to close the face, and you're going to tell them to close it with their hips. It's going to go even farther right. So it's not that that's bad information. It doesn't apply to you. Right. You know, I was very fortunate and blessed to go through the Hank Haney tree. That goes back to John Jacobs. Hank said John Jacobs is the best teacher he ever saw. And they said John could stand next to someone in a lesson, turn his back to the client and just watch the ball and tell him what to fix, and that he would fix it. So everything we teach is ball flight. So we're trying to fix the ball. Yeah. You know, 8 out of 10 times someone's going to come in and their ball flights, you know, they're going to hit a slice, they're going to hit it too low, they're going to have inconsistent contact. So what are we going to do? We're going to hit high and left. And then from there we can dial it back. So I'm a big fan of going to extremes. You know, like we've done together. If someone's missing right, get them missing left. If someone's missing low, get them missing high. Do the opposite. And if you do the opposite, you can give someone understanding. I sent you those couple pictures that I want you to put in the video. And I mean, you saw it's a 15 to 20 yard difference from a negative club path to a positive club path. And the speeds didn't change too much, maybe a mile an hour or 2. The loft didn't change too much, but it's like, you know, it's a big difference. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, like, my results speak for themselves. I had 3 girls get scholarships last year for college golf.
I saw you got your first D1 bag, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Got another girl with the D2 bag. I'm doing 45 lessons a week. You know, I'm on pace for 1,900 lessons this year. It's like, you know, obviously people speak with their money, right? You know, so they would go somewhere else if they weren't seeing results, and it's a good feeling.
Absolutely. You mentioned it in the video, and I didn't take it out of the lesson because I thought it was so valuable. And you were telling me the timeline that you see. Yeah. People progress and stay with you. Yeah. So do you want to repeat that for everybody?
Absolutely. So I see year 1 is building a swing. So obviously I hope to see results in, you know, that 1 year. You know, it's kind of linear here, but it's really like this. And then, but after about 1 year, we should be close to a consistent swing. You know, some people take 14, 15 months. Some people take 6, 8 months. But I'd say that 1 year mark, I feel very confident about the swing that I built. And then I'd see for the junior kids, year 1 to 2, I start to see them compete and maybe win a tournament or 2. But then year 2 to 3, the kids that stay with me, which, you know what, not everyone stays with you because, you know, not everyone's going to take accountability for their own swing. They're going to blame me, and that's okay. You know, I've been fired. I had a 11-year-old that was shooting 69 in tournaments.
Holy smokes.
He won over 15 tournaments. He was ranked number 6 in the state. And they decided to go to a different instructor. And I'm just like,
Wow.
He's shooting 11. I mean, he's at 11 shooting 69. And he'd done that multiple times in tournaments. What more can we do?
Yeah.
He's like, well, he's too much of an arm swing. We want more chest swing. And he switched instructors, and it took a year and a half for him to win another tournament.
Wow.
So now he's won a tournament, but he won a year of shooting in the 80s. I'm just like, was that really worth the change? And now he's still shooting mid-70s, you know,
Wow.
drops from 8, but, you know, that's their choice. But after that, I can be fired by anybody. And here's the thing that made me the most mad, though, is his dad told me 2 weeks before they fired me, is his swing's perfect right now.
No way.
I'll never forget that.
No way.
Here's the worst part, though. They took him to Korea and Vietnam. So, like, he's not even taking golf lessons in DFW. Like, they think
What?
they're, yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So he goes and spends the summer in Korea now because the golf instruction in Texas isn't good enough for him.
Hardest question of them all. Do you think you're going to get to scratch eventually?
I think I'm going to say I'll put you at a 2 to 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think would get me, like, to make that big jump, or is
Yeah.
it, or do you think it's a talent thing?
I'm just going to be transparent with you. Speed.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, we see it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm swinging my
Yeah.
driver 95 miles per hour, and
Yeah.
it needs to be 110.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's a big jump. Not to say that you can't do it,
Yeah.
but just being from a realistic standpoint, the speed's got to get to at least 106.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, and I mean, we're going to tackle it. We talked about it in the last lesson, where I think I need to start working out. And that's gonna be a whole series on its own. I'm gonna
And
go see somebody.
I think nutrition too. I think that'll be huge.
That's good. That's good. But with the swing that I have now, you think realistically 2 to 3 is
Yeah,
very
for sure.
possible,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah. So
And I do feel that way too.
You have to really get 10 to 14 greens. So when you start getting, here's what I've noticed with Madison, one of the girls that was playing college golf. When she started hitting 14 greens, she was hitting 8, 9, and she would shoot mid to high 70s, depending on how she got up and down that day. But then all of a sudden, she started hitting 14 greens, par, under par.
Wow.
So it just, you know, that just changes everything, because all of a sudden now you roll in 3, 4 birdies.
Wow.
Because you got, you know, 4 or 5 more looks.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, your confidence gets different and all that. But
That's so cool. So I got 2 more. One is really funny to me because you just very briefly mentioned it in one of my videos, and I just kept it in there because I thought it was interesting. Yeah. So can you kind of tell us about why you don't golf anymore?
Because I'm an instructor. I'm not a player. I'm not trying to chase a tour card. I just know how good those guys are. Like, I'll never forget Steve Johnson, our director over at Hank Haney, was working with Sung Kang, and I walked down and I'm like, you know what, I'm hitting the ball good. I'm gonna go hit next to Sung. I got humbled real quick, and I just realized, I'm like, okay, I'm a teacher. I'm not a player. It's just, I fully accepted who I am. I don't try and wear multiple hats. I wear one hat. I'm not a jack of all trades, master of none. That gets you nowhere. I want to be world class. I believe I'm on that trajectory, and then I want to be great. And I can't play if I want to do that. You know, why be an average teacher and an average player? Why not be a world class instructor?
Hell yeah.
So I mean, that's my mindset, and it's not for everybody. And you know what? That's fine. Like, I just know what makes me happy. I know what gives me purpose. I know what gives me fulfillment, and my joy is in teaching golf, and that's me.
Yeah, you get more fulfillment from seeing me improve rather than
100%.
you work on your own game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Zach, do you have any other final thoughts or things that you want to leave us with?
Yeah, so I just say, whether you pick any instructor that you pick, it doesn't matter who you pick, just be all in with that person. I want you to really mentally buy in to whatever instructor you pick. These people are professionals. They spend their livelihood doing this every day. They know better than you do. So stop acting like you know more. Stop saying, well, I don't know about this or that. There's a reason they're telling you this. And maybe that person isn't a good enough instructor, but I would give them the benefit of the doubt if you trust in them and believe in them. And the other thing I want to say is, just whatever you're doing with your mistake, do the opposite. So if you're fading the ball bad, learn to hook it. If you're hooking it bad, learn to hit a little block. The more you can understand how the club works, what the club does, and how the ball reacts to the club, you'll be a more complete golfer. I just see time and time again, people don't understand their miss. If someone's slicing it, I ask them, can you explain your slice? I have no idea how I'm doing it. Are you hooking it? Can you explain your hook? I have no idea how I'm hooking it. The more you can understand and explain what you're doing, the better of a golfer you'll become.
Awesome. Zach, you're the man.
Cool.
I appreciate you
absolutely.
always.
Yep.
Super excited to see kind of where our journey takes us. I mean, we're only 7 months in, seeing great results, and super excited to see where the next couple years takes us. And how low we can take our scores, man.
Cool.
But
I appreciate it.
As always, thank you so much for letting me record everything. And guys, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I post videos every single Friday. You'll see Zach in pretty much one every 3-4 videos, sometimes even more than that. And I hope you guys are playing well, shooting low scores, and I'll catch you guys next week. Take care.
Cool.